Book 3, Chapter 4, Twinkle. I work at the animal shelter twice a week now, and each week there are new little animals to love. We've raised enough money to purchase new cages and lots of blankets for bedding. The shelter needed a lot of help with the food too, so some of the money went towards food, and yes, some toys for the kittens. If it wasn't for the shelter, I would not have my great dog, Sky Charles, or my amazing cat, Hemingway. My little brother, he has really come out of his shell since the arrival of his pretend circus, with Sky jumping through hoops and doing great tricks. Today, though, I will be going to help Sir after school. When I asked my mom, she said it would be okay with her as long as my chores were all done. When I get home, I grab a snack. My little brother is catching on to this. Now he thinks peanut butter and toast is the way to celebrate the end of a school day. Up here, little man, I say, and I grab the stool for him to stand on to wash his hands. Tiernan still speaks in a baby voice, but he speaks well and uses big words for a 6-year-old. Can you cut my toast into finger pieces again? He asks in a happy tone. Sure, Tiernan. How many toast fingers would you like? His eyes light up, as if he's discovered the most amazing insight. I can pick how many pieces? He asks. Yes, but remember, the toast is the same size, so the more toast fingers you want, the more the pieces get smaller. He ponders, all the while he is washing his hands. I am not sure if he is giving thanks or contemplating this great decision. 5, he blurts out. That's 1 more than yesterday. Okay, little man, 5 it is. I'm going to cut my toast in 2, I announce. 2? That's not many. As we sit enjoying every mouthful of peanut butter toast fingers, my mom enters the kitchen. I can smell delicious toast, she sings. It is really good, Mom. Can I make you some toast? She looks at me, studies my eyes as if I've said something unbelievable. Finnan, I would love for you to make me a slice of peanut butter toast. Thank you. Tiernan pipes in by saying, I have 5 toast fingers today. Look! Well, I ate 3 already. My mom kisses the top of Tiernan's head as she sits down beside him. How was everyone's day today? She asks with a peaceful look on her face. We played this great game in class, an improv game. Oh, I love improv, she says with a smile. You know how to play? I ask. Yes, Finn. Years ago, when I was in high school, we would have improv class. I remember it being great fun. My friends and I were thinking that we should get together for pizza night this Friday and play the game here. Oh, Finnan, that sounds like so much fun. As my mom continues sharing her stories of high school, I make sure I put as much love into spreading the peanut butter as I can. I know when my mom makes things for me, there is so much love. Here, Mom, 5 toast fingers for you. Oh, Finn, it looks delicious. It is, my brother says as he goes back to the sink to wash his hands. Charles Limerick and I have been hanging around with a new classmate, Baxter. I've also invited him to come on Friday. Baxter, I haven't heard you speak of him before. Is he new to your class? No, Mum. He always just sits in the back row, sort of fits in but doesn't. He is very tall and really big for his age. He looks like he could be in grade 9. I am sure he is very nice if you 3 like to hang around with him. He is most welcome to come for sure. He isn't sure if he wants to. I mean, he does want to, but he says he's just really shy about meeting new people. I can understand that, Finnan. I can get shy around others as well. We will make him feel right at home. I know, Mum. Charles and Limerick have already told him how much fun they have when they come over. I was thinking that perhaps Sir would also like to join us. We could serve popcorn as we play. It sounds like a very fun evening, Finn. Let's make sure we mention it to your dad at supper. I better walk Skye and Hemingway now. Today I'm going over to Sir's house. Remember, Mum? Yes, Finn. I'll hold off on supper until 6 o'clock so that you will be able to spend at least 1 hour there. Thanks, Mum. I look out to the backyard to see Skye wearing a bright red handkerchief. I think to myself, gee, I wonder what Hemingway is wearing. Sure enough, just as I am finishing my thought, Hemingway enters the kitchen, wearing bright red. I look at my mum without saying anything. She looks at me and says, Finn, it's fun for me, and gives me a wink. I get to Sir's house right on time. He is sitting outside with his pipe in hand. I could see you three coming a mile away, he says with a grin. I know, they are wearing really bright colors today. We laugh as Skye and Hemingway receive the treats that Sir has sitting next to him on a small table. Bring everyone in, Finnan. Would you like a treat too? No, sir, but thank you. I just had a piece of peanut butter toast with Tiernan and Mom. Have you ever cut the toast into finger slices? He asks in passing. Yes. In fact, today, Tiernan wanted 5 finger slices, and I made the same for Mom. Have you ever dipped the toast in hot chocolate? No, sir, I haven't. I'm not much for things that get soggy. He laughs and asks me to follow him upstairs. I had never been inside his home before. It is really inviting. Everything looks old wallpaper lining the walls and old furniture. But it feels very much like home. I notice pictures of many people. He has old frames and most of the photos are in black and white. Who are all these people, sir? I ask as I study each one. Finnan, I have traveled around the world. Some are family and some are people who have become family through deep friendships. Where was this one taken? I ask, looking at a very young and tall Sir in the photo. Italy, Finnan, Italy. My heart feels funny, and I hear my heart voice say, ask him about Italy. Wow, I'm really interested in Italy. Can you tell me about your visit there? Sir looks at me in a very gentle manner, as if he isn't sure what to say, or he needs to think about something. Finnan, I met the love of my life in Italy, a beautiful lady. Italy is romantic, Finn. Love stories happen in Italy. Is that why you visited there, sir? I say with innocence. He chuckles as he tells me the story of exploring Italy with no intention of meeting his beloved. He uses the word beloved, and I like it. I haven't heard that word before. We start making our way up the stairs slowly. The staircase is lined with photos and old frames. Each step is like a moment back in time, and one by one, he explains to me who each person is. At the very top of the stairs is a larger photo with a woman posing, the way you would see in a magazine. Is this your beloved? I ask eagerly. He looks at the photo. He gazes at her eyes. It's like she is talking with me, he says in a gentle voice. Yes, this is my forever and for always beloved. I smile. I can see the twinkle in his eye. I too study her face. I too admire her beauty. She is very beautiful, I whisper, and I hear my heart voice say, she is love. Come, Finn, I want you to help me open the chest. Down the hallway we go. The light is filtering through the window at the end of the hallway. I can see dust particles floating in the air, and there are old rugs on the floor that look to be handmade. Finn, it's at the end there. Sir points to the biggest looking treasure chest I have ever seen. It looks like something you would see in an old movie. It really looks like an old treasure chest. My eyes widen as we stand before it. I can't help but touch the top of the box to feel the quality, or perhaps just to make sure it is real. Finnan, I haven't opened this box for a long while now. I'm not sure what's in it anymore. My mum says that about her china cabinet. He shows me an old-fashioned key. It is beautiful. I hold my hand out and he places a key into the palm of my hand. I feel my hand tingle, like when I hold my great-grandfather's watch. The key is very large and it is long. It extends past the palm of my hand. Wow, this is old, I mumble. Yes, Finn, it is. The chest has been in my family many generations. I can't take my eyes off the box that looks like a treasure chest to me. It has two worn leather latches that come down around to the front of the box. Put the key into the lock, Finn. I can feel the tingling and the excitement in my heart. I insert the key and turn the key towards the window. It hasn't been open in a long while. You may have to wiggle the key. Turn the key slowly until you hear a sound, like the tick of a clock. Quietly, I turn the key and I hear the sound. I heard it, sir, I say with a sense of accomplishment. Okay, Finnan, you've unlocked it. Now lift the lid, but be careful because it is very heavy. I open the two latches and place both hands on the front of the chest. I get on my knees to give myself more strength to lift. Okay, Finn, now give it all your muscle power. With all my might, I lift the lid, uncovering the treasures. I can only imagine what is there for us to discover. Sir, I gasp as I gaze into the old box. I told you, Finn, that I would need some help, he says with a wink. I take a deep breath. I inhale the aroma that is filtering up into the air. It is comforting, breathtaking, actually. There are two stools in that room over there, Finn. Please get us each a stool to sit on. I stand up. I gaze into the box once again, hardly believing what I am seeing. I go to the room which Sir has pointed to. I notice more old photos on the wall. I take the first and tallest stool to him. Thank you, Finn, he says as he sits on the edge of the stool with his cane by his side. I go back into the room and in the sunlight, I see reflections on the wall that bring the feeling of love, like watching the car lights go by at night. For a moment, I am captivated, watching the sun dance across the old wallpaper. I bring out a smaller stool. It looks like it was once a chair that had its backrest removed at some point. Sit here, Sir says as he peers into the box from a higher view. Okay, I whisper, placing my seat in front of the box. The sun shines in and it makes its way to light up the inside of the chest. Look at that, Finn. The sun wants to shed more light for us. It's like the sun is shining to allow us to take notice of yet another miracle. What would you like me to take out first? I ask with excitement. See that red box, Finn? Take that out first. I reach in and take out the old red box. It has a felt-like material on the outside, and it is heavier than I expected. I hand the box to Sir. Thank you, Finn. Do you have any idea what's in here? He asks with a grin. As the smoke trickles up from his pipe, it gleams in the sunlight. Suddenly, I feel like I'm in an old Western movie, a black and white movie. I have no idea what might be in the box, I reply with honesty. As Sir lifts the cover, the sunlight shines down upon the most magnificent diamond I have ever seen. Beams of light shoot through the hallway, endless colors like a rainbow, glistening brilliantly. Is that a diamond? I ask as I gaze at its beauty. Yes, Finnan, it is a diamond. It is a very rare diamond that was given to me on one of my adventures. I can't take my eyes off the flashing light it is creating. Sir, Why is the box so heavy if it holds a diamond? The treasure is in the bottom of the box, Finn, he says, and hands the box over to me. Look inside. I look in and see an old book. It is very old and thick. It has leather on the cover and a cross on the front. There is gold paint along the sides. It is extraordinary. I place my hand in the box to retrieve the book. It is much heavier than it looks. The pages of the book are lined in gold. I have never seen such a magnificent book. What is this? I ask as I hold the book in both hands. This, Finnan, is a grand treasure, a treasure that will be shared with others, for it has been kept away for too long now. May I open it? I ask. Finn, it's best that it remain closed to preserve the authenticity, but I assure you, once opened, one's world will expand into greatness. I hold the book and the sun shines brilliantly where we are sitting. Put it back for now, Finn. Do you see that larger box in the corner? This one? I say as I point to a black box. The box is shiny and has gold lettering on it. Yes, I think that's what I'm looking for. I reach in and using both hands, I hand it over to Sir. I want to be as careful as I can. He takes it with both hands and then places it gently on his knee. I'm hoping, Finn, that I remember this the way it was, for sometimes my imagination gets the better of me and I picture things differently. He opens the box. The inside is lined with very old tissue paper. The paper is folded and a ribbon is tied in the middle. Sir unties the ribbon ever so gently and folds the tissue back to expose the most magnificent pen. It has a peacock feather, the finest feather I could have ever imagined. Wow, I whisper, that's a huge feather. Sir removes the pen from the box and the feather stands straight into the air. It is dignified, extraordinary. It truly feels that I have stepped back in time. Finn, this pen was used by a very powerful and prominent figure to sign papers of declaration. Declaration? I ask. What kind of declaration? In the town where I grew up, there was a misunderstanding between fellow landowners. Some people thought the land was theirs, while other people claimed it belonged to them, and a feud between them severed the village, causing great amounts of bitterness. Who you were and the family you belonged to dictated your fate. What side were you on? I ask eagerly. It wasn't a matter of sides, of being right or wrong. It was more about the sides of power. The more money a family had, the more they could establish rights to owning the land, as if they were the ones entitled to the land even though it belonged to someone else. That doesn't sound fair, I say, bewildered of unfairness towards others. It wasn't fair, Finn, and the townspeople became angry. The landowners became angry with those wanting to take away something that didn't belong to them. Did it start a war? I ask. Finnan, my beautiful Finnan, a war would have started if not for the compassion of a man who had authority and was in a position of higher power. This man saw the unfairness, and before a war could start, he made a declaration that the townspeople would have equal ownership rights and that those who owned land could sell the land to the others if they so chose, but that no one would be forced into giving the land away. But, sir, you said that everyone thought the land belonged to them. They did, Finn. So in order to resolve a problem that could not be proven right or wrong, this man of honor created a declaration that allowed the land to be divided equally among all. I'm not sure I understand, I say with a slight frustration of just not understanding. Finnan, the man of honor, took a look at all the land, those who had farms, what the land was being used for, and so on. With this information and the assistance of his men, each person was allotted a section of land. For example, if there were 8 people in the family, including children, 8 parcels of land were given. What if one didn't have family? Let's say they lived alone. They were also allotted a parcel of land, but they had the option of combining efforts with another. In essence, the declaration gave each person the opportunity to receive the same amount of land and to do with it what they pleased. I still don't really understand. Wouldn't they have built a house on the land? Yes, Finn. You see, the piece of land allotted to each resident would be the very same property they presently held. Interesting, I say. But here is the brilliance of the story. When everyone discovered each had the same, nobody wanted more. In fact, everyone started to join together to put their parcels of land together to make larger sections of farmland. The people were so satisfied with the equality that peace in the land was abundant and everyone worked together as a community. Wow, I say. So there was no war, only peace. Finnan, it was greater than that. Each person in the community became valuable regardless of the money in their pocket. All people were equal in value and contributing to the greater good of all. It was due to the great mind behind that wise man and the declaration he signed using this pen that the village became rich beyond measures, with each person flourishing and creating in abundance. Where is this village? I ask. Well, Finnan, that's just it. Nobody truly knows where the village started or where it ends. Now I'm really confused. You mean you don't know where you were raised? Yes, Finn, I do know the village. However, it has since flourished so much that it has expanded outwards and became a self-sufficient community that works solely on its own. Do you ever visit there? I ask, still perplexed at the story. I have not been to the village since I was a young man. I just like to remember it the way it was back then. This pen is a pen of peace. It once signed off on the greatness of peace between men, of peace between families. This is the gift I want to give to your father. I think to myself, what extraordinary gifts to give to one another without any occasion. The gifts to be exchanged are gifts from the heart. It makes me think about my friendship with Charles and Limerick, and now Baxter. It makes me wonder what I would give as a gift of friendship. Perhaps it's something I should be thinking about. A gift given just because you value the friendship of another is a perfect gift. No occasion, no reason, just a gift given. The words ring true in my head. Today is a perfect day for a perfect gift. Sir and my dad certainly know the meaning of that phrase. I help Sir put the box back in and lower the large top. I insert the key and turn it the other way. Then I check to make sure it is locked. The 2 leather straps come down in the front. They have buckles that attach them together. Finn, thank you so much for helping me today. I want you to come back so we can go through more of the treasures that I have collected over the years. Yes, sir, I will be glad to help you, but for today, I must get home to supper. Please say hello to the family for me. We are thinking about having a game night this Friday. Would you be interested in coming over? It will be pizza night. Finn, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Is the young author going? Yes, sir, and Limerick, and maybe Baxter. Baxter? I haven't heard you speak of Baxter before. We've just recently become friends. There is something about him that I really like. His heart is very big, and I can tell by the sincerity in his words. Friends are extremely important, Finn. Hard to find at times, but important. I nod my head and say, I really must be on my way now, sir.